Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Beginning Guitar Chapter 6. Okay, let's start off with some chords. We're going to talk about F major and F minor. Okay, I'm going to give you several different kind of ways to play your F major and your F minor, and then you could ultimately pick what you'd like to play for today. But I will also introduce a bar chord for both of these chords, because sometimes F is played as a bar chord, but bar chords can definitely be challenging at the beginning levels. So I'm also going to give plenty of mini, smaller, easier ways to play this chord too. Okay, let's start off with an F major chord, and this is all going to be right in our first position, so all based off of the first fret. Okay, now for the first one, I'm going to show you a triad with a small bar, and this is going to be the one I'm going to recommend for today. Okay, now start off with your ring finger on the 3rd fret 4th string, middle finger gets the 2nd fret 3rd string, index finger gets the 1st fret on the 2nd string. Now right here, it's what we call a major triad, and that works really well for F. So you could totally play this one too, but I'm going to show you how to just do a small bar with your index. If I just lay my index across and get the 1st fret also on the 1st string, I can get that high F, and that's nice for strumming. Okay, now if I just do the triad version, you can just be selective with your picking. You can also mute that 1st string with your index finger. Now, if you have an open 1st string, that's a really nice F chord, but that's technically an F major 7 chord because it has the note E in it. So sometimes, depending on the key you're in, you can get away with that chord, but I'm going to recommend to keep it very more in the F major zone. So we're going to try to avoid that open 1st string right there. Okay, now I also want to point out, as we're doing this triad, if I go back to the first 3-note chord, I can also wrap my thumb on the top of the neck and grab my 1st fret on the 6th string, and that's a great F major right there. That's kind of a thumb style chord. I learned a lot of this from learning some Jimi Hendrix tunes and Stevie Ray Vaughan. So you might see guitarists sometimes wrap their thumb over. You don't have to have a huge thumb to do it. All you have to do is just get it with sort of that side of your thumb. And then important to also mute that 5th string. Now with this, I can strum away because I'm also muting my 1st string. So that's another great way to play your F major. But again, for today, that'll be the first recommendation. Okay, now here's some other versions of your F chord. If we do a mini F major chord, I'm going to just hit the 3 strings, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. I'm going to use my middle finger to get the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then I'm going to do that bar with my index and get the 1st frets on the 2nd and 1st string. And that's just a 3-note chord. Now with the mini chords, we just have to be selective with our strumming to only strum those notes, but that's another way to play an F right there. Okay, let's go ahead and throw out an F major bar chord. Okay, bar chords can be tricky at first, but they're definitely part of our guitaring, and we get better at them as we practice them. But don't put too much pressure on yourself for a bar chord at this point. There are benefits to bar chords because you're going to be able to move them around and play in all your different keys for your chords. But let's go ahead and learn an F major bar chord. With your index finger, go to your 1st fret 6th string. Ring finger stretches to get the 3rd fret 5th string, pinky's on the 3rd fret 4th string, middle finger has the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then I'm just going to lay my index finger down and bar and get the 1st frets on the 2nd and the 1st string. I'm using my thumb for some pressure on the back of the neck, and that's your F major bar chord. Okay, let's talk about F minor. We're going to start off with some smaller chords and lead into a bar chord. I'm going to start off with what I'm going to recommend for this chord, and it's going to have 4 notes in it. It's going to have a bar in it, but not a full bar chord. Okay, now with your ring finger, go to your 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then with your index finger, just going to bar and get your 1st frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, and I'm just going to strum those 4 notes. Okay, let's learn a couple 3-note F minor chords. These are going to be mini chords. I'm going to start off with the bar version. If I just bar with my index and get the first frets on the first 3 strings, that's a mini F minor. And then being selective, only strumming or picking those 3 notes. Okay, now you can also stack your fingers and get those 3 notes with your index and your middle and your ring. So index is on the 3rd string, middle's on the 2nd string, and then rings on the 1st string, all on the 1st frets. Okay, let's go ahead and do an F minor bar chord. It's going to be very similar to the F major without middle finger included. So index finger is on the 1st fret 6th string, ring finger's on the 3rd fret 5th string, pinky's on the 3rd fret 4th string, and then I'm going to bar across the whole 1st fret and get the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string with my index finger. I'm also going to make some contact. You could kind of lay your middle finger on top or sort of on the side of your index finger and help with some pressure. Definitely have my thumb on the back of the neck. And here's an F minor bar chord. And this chord, as well as the major chord, is completely movable, so it'll also eventually help us out with our other keys. But no problem to do your minis for today, or the first one I recommended with the 4 notes. This chapter's strum pattern is going to feature a quarter note and some eighth notes. We're going to have a quarter note on beat 1 and then eighth notes on beats 2, 3, and 4. When you see the box without a bottom, that's a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. Okay, it's going to sound like this: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, for your quarter note, you could just do a down strum, and for your eighth notes, you could do a down up on each beat. Here's the pattern without a chord: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat them all 4 to 8 times and check out some different tempos: slow, medium, and fast. Grab your F major chord, and we're going to go 4 bars with that pattern: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. For number 2, we're going to go 4 bars with an F minor: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Here's number 2 a little faster: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. For number 3, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We're going to go 4 bars of F major into 4 bars of F minor: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. For number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of F major into 2 bars of F minor: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. For number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of F major into 1 bar of F minor, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, for number 6 and the next numbers, we're going to bring back some chords from previous chapters and talk about some rhythms that we've been using. Okay, for number 6, we're going to start off with an F major with normal pattern for 2 bars, and then we'll switch it to a C major with normal pattern for 2 bars. Now you're switched from F to C, they're actually pretty close. Here's my F. All I have to do is just pivot down a set of strings with my ring and my index, with my ring and my middle, and then have my index finger now arched up a little bit so I can get my open 3rd string and my open 1st string. Okay, now for your C major chord, we're going to have our ring finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, middle finger is on the 2nd fret 4th string, open 3rd string, index is on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then open 1st string. And then I'm going to nudge and make a little contact so I can mute my low 6th string, or have my thumb over on top of the neck to mute that string, but It's important to mute that low 6th string if you can. There's your C major. Okay, here comes number 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, for number 7, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We're going to start off with F minor with our normal pattern for 2 bars. We're going to switch it to a G minor on bar 3, normal pattern. On bar 4, we'll have a whole note, and that's going to be a chord lasting for 4 beats. We're going to switch it to an A major with normal pattern for bar 5. On bar 6, we're going to have our normal pattern up to beat 3, and then we'll have a half note. That's going to be a chord lasting for 2 beats. Switch it to an E major with normal pattern on bar 7, and then on bar 8, we're going to have our normal pattern, but a quarter note rest on beat 1, and that's that squiggle. We won't play anything for 1 beat. Okay, for your G minor, I'm going to be doing the mini version, just barring my 3rd fret on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, and then you can have your open 4th string. And just so you know, if you want to take that same F minor, where we have a ring finger, you can also use that for your G minor too, as opposed to your open 4th string. You can also stack those notes too if you like. Okay, now for your A major, we're just going to do the stack. That's the index finger, middle finger, and ring finger. They're all on the 2nd frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. All other strings can be open. And then for your E major, gonna have middle fingers on the 2nd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 2nd fret 4th string, index is on the 1st fret 3rd string, and then all strings are open. Okay, here comes number 7. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 8, we're going to have an F major for 2 bars, normal pattern. We're going to switch it to a G major on bar 3. We're going to start off with a half note for the first 2 beats. That's a chord lasting for 2 beats. And then resume our pattern with 8th notes for beats 3 and 4. On bar 4, we'll have a half note rest, means we won't play anything for the first 2 beats, and then we'll get back into our pattern with 8th notes on beats 3 and 4. Okay, here comes number 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... 2, rest. Here's number 8 a little faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, rest. Okay, for number 9, we're going to start off with a whole note rest. We won't be playing anything for that first bar. All 4 beats are resting. Good to have your F major chord ready, because we're going to go into bar 2 with F major with normal pattern. On bar 3, we're staying on an F major, but we're going to have a quarter note on beat 1, quarter note rest on beat 2, 8th notes on beat 3, and then a quarter note rest on beat 4. Switch it to a D minor for the last bar on bar 4, and we'll have our normal pattern, but we will have a quarter note rest on beat 3. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest. For this chapter scales, we're going to talk about the F major pentatonic and the F minor pentatonic. Okay, for your F major pentatonic, we're going to have 5 notes taken from the major scale. These notes are the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So in the key of F, it's going to be an F, G, A, C, and a D. Okay, let's go ahead and get to know it. We're going to start off on the 1st fret on the 6th string, go to your 3rd fret on the same string. I'm using my ring finger for that 2nd note, but you can also use your index finger for both of them if you like. We're going to go to the 5th string, open to 3, and then on your 4th string, open to 3. Okay, now that's your note F, that's the 1st octave. Let's go ahead and come back down. It's going to be 3 to open 4th string, 3 to open 5th string, and then 3 to 1 on the 6th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. 3, 4. to hit each note 2 times. They're going to sound like eighth notes. 3 and 4 and. Take this scale up 2 octaves, so let's do what we've already done. 1 to 3 6th string, open 3 5th string, open 3 4th string. Now on your 3rd string we'll go open 2. On the 2nd string is a 1 to 3, and then to your 1st fret on the 1st string, and that's the note F. That's our 2nd octave right there. Okay, let's take this one up 1 more note. We're going to go up to our 3rd fret on that same 1st string. So we're going 1 note above the octave for this one. Okay, now coming back down, we'll go 3 to 1. Then 2nd string, 3 to 1, 2 open on your 3rd string, 3 open 4th string, 3 open 5th string, and then 3 to 1 on the 1st string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. 3, 4. Okay, let's talk about the F minor pentatonic. We're going to grab 5 notes from an F minor scale. It's going to be the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, and the flat 7. So our notes for this scale is an F, A flat, B flat, C, E flat, back to an F. Okay, let's start off with the 1 octave scale. It's going to be your 1st to 4th fret on the 6th string, and then you could use your pinky. You can also stretch up with your ring finger for that next note, or just use your pointer for both notes. On the 5th string, we're going to go 1 to 3, and on the 4th string, we're going to go 1 to 3. Takes us to the note F, that's our 1st octave. Coming back down, 3 to 1, 3 to 1 on the 5th string, and then 4 to 1 on the 6th string. Okay, here's that scale up and down. 3, 4. We're going to hit each note twice. It'll sound like eighth notes. 3 and 4. And okay, now for the last one, we're going to take the scale up 2 octaves. So let's do what we've already done. 1 to 4 6th string, 1 to 3 5th string, 1 to 3 4th string. Now we're going to keep going. We're going to go 1 to 3 on the 3rd string, 1 to 4 on the 2nd string. Now go to your 1st fret on the 1st string. That's the note F. We're going to climb up 1 higher note up to the 4th fret on the 1st string. Okay, now coming back down, we're going to go 4 to 1, 4 to 1 2nd string, 3 to 1 3rd string, 3 to 1 4th string, 3 to 1 5th string, and then 4 to 1 6th string. Okay, let's go ahead and play the scale up and down. 3, 4. Okay, I always recommend to jam and improvise with your chords and your scales. So I'm going to play an F major chord for a bit, strum anything you'd like, and then I'm going to improvise a little bit with the F major pentatonic. Here we go. Some chords. Now some scales. Back to some chords. A little more scale. Okay, now I'm going to jam on an F minor chord and try some F minor pentatonic. 3, 4. Some chords. Some scale. Back to some chords. For this chapter study, we're going to talk about some picking. Okay, when you see that box without a bottom, that's a down pick, and an arrow pointing down is an up pick. Okay, now for number one, we're going to do an E major chord, and we're going to basically arpeggiate it or play each string separately with picking as opposed to strumming where we're hitting all of our notes at once. Okay, now for this one, we're going to do all down picks on an E major, and I'm just going to go from my 6th string to the 1st string and then come back down and end it on the 5th string because it's going to start over again with the 6th string. Now, I'm going to be playing each of these 2 times, but I recommend repeat them all 4 to 8 times or more and check out some different tempos too. Okay, here comes number 1, 3, 4. Here's number 1 a little faster. So I've just got my resting point on the guitar and then my right hand's making that pivot. Okay, for number 2, we're going to switch it to an E minor chord. Now for this one, I'm going to do down picks from the 6th string all the way to the 2nd string, but then I'm going to go into up picks from my 1st string back down to my 5th string where it will repeat again going back into a down pick. Okay, here's number 2, 3, 4. Up picks. Back to down picks, and then up picks. Okay, here's number 2 a little faster. Okay, for number 3, we're going to go to an A major. For this one, we're going to just do all down picks, starting on the 5th string, going up to the 1st string, and then back to the 4th string, where it will repeat again. 3, 4. Here's number 3 a little faster. Okay, for number 4, we're going to switch it to an A minor, and we're going to do down picks all the way from the 5th string to the 2nd string, and then go into up picks from the 1st to the 4th string, where we'll go back into down picks to repeat it. 3, 4. Down picks, up picks. Here's number 4 a little faster. Okay, for number 5, we're going to switch it to a D major. We're going to do all down picks, and that'll be from the 4th string to the 1st string, and then back to the 3rd string. 3, 4. Here's number 5 a little faster. Okay, for number 6, we're going to take it to a D minor, and we're going to have down picks for the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then go into up picks for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. Here we go. 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Here's number 6 a little faster. Okay, for number 7, we're going to do a G major chord, and we're going to do all down picks from the 6th string to the 1st string, and then back down to the 5th string. Okay, here's number 7, 3, 4. Here's number 7 a little faster. Okay, now for number 8, keep it on a G major, and we're going to do down picks from the 6th string to the 2nd string, and then go into up picks from the 1st string back down to the 5th string. 3, 4, down, up, down, up. Here's number 8 a little faster. Okay, for number 9, we're going to go to a C major, and we're just going to do down picks from the 5th string to the 1st string, and then back down to the 4th string. 3, 4. Okay, for number 10, we're going to use down picks for the 5th to the 2nd string and then go into up picks for the 1st string to the 4th string. Here we go. 3, 4, down, up, down, up. Here's number 10 a little faster. Okay, for number 11, we're going to go to an E major again, and this time we're just going to do all down picks from the 6th string to the 3rd string. So it's going to be just a 4-note kind of riff right here. 3, 4. Here's number 11 a little faster. Okay, now for number 12, we're going to go to an A major chord, and we're going to do down picks for the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, and then we'll do an up pick on the 2nd string. That's a good economical way for picking. It kind of helps out when you start getting to faster rhythms too. So here's number 12 slow. 3, 4, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Okay, now here's number 12 a little faster. Down, 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 up. Okay, now for number 13, we're going to go to a D major, and we're going to do all up picks from the 1st to the 4th string. 3, 4. Here's number 13 a little faster. Okay, now switch it to a D minor, and this time we're going to use that kind of economical way to pick. We're going to go up, 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 down on your 1st, 2nd, 3rd to your 4th string. Here's number 14. 3, 4, up, 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 down. And then here's number 14 a little faster. Okay, thanks so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you for Chapter 7. Take care.